Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's Mr.BuyTheDip back here with another video. What a week, okay? What a week. Some of these pullbacks are real. Some of these pullbacks are something, where we might not recover. We might not go up to those levels that we think we're going to go to, which is fine. Which is why we risk manage, which is why we buy at the right levels, okay? Currently, I'm up 3.5%, whatever, on one of my cryptos, but I want y'all to really focus on Uber. I've been talking about Uber a lot, okay? And they reported earnings which weren't that bad. I want you to know Uber's earnings and Meta's earnings weren't bad. Meta had good revenue on their earnings. I mean, it was amazing, right? After NVIDIA, I think about Meta. There's not any other company I think about after NVIDIA than Meta in the, if you want to compare revenue and how fast they're growing. But let's analyze Uber's earnings. Let me tell you guys what some of these numbers mean. Now, let me give you my take on this and why I still think we can go to 105, and we are going to go to 105. The only thing is I never know when we're going to go to 105, right? I can give you a rough estimate, but what I'm going to do until then is I'm going to keep buying Uber, and I'm going to show you how to buy Uber the right way, okay? So revenue rose 20% year over year to about $13.5 billion. Bidding estimates of 13.27 billion, which is good, right? So we can check that box off. So earnings per share, okay? GAAP is the way they measure this in accounting. So if you're an accounting major, finance major, you know what that means. All right. Anyways, okay, that came in at 3.11 per share, okay? Well above 2.92. So they beat earnings, right? Now, gross bookings, I always like this metric, because how many people are actually using Uber's platform, right? Are they doing well? Are more people buying cars? No. 49.7 billion, up 21% year over year. That's some good money, okay? Delivery and mobility segments both showed accelerating growth. So when I look at Uber, obviously I want to look at it as a rideshare business, and I want to see them, excelling in autonomous driving, but autonomous driving is a bit far away. I want you to know autonomous driving is a bit far away, okay? So self-driving cars, the robotic self-driving cars, it's like saying quantum computing. I like to compare these two. A lot of times, a lot of investors talk about quantum computing in the tech space, and you talk about a stock like RGTI. We are still far away from quantum computing. Right now is the AI phase. So it's very, it's very kind of hard for this topic in the rideshare industry or the autonomous driving industry, whatever, to think about, where are we at with this industry sector. And when I look at Uber, I look at this as a company that's had a lot of growth, back from 2022. I mean, this was a $21 stock. It has doubled since then. Okay, but if I look at it from 2017, even then, they've improved a lot. Their management has gotten very better. That's one of the key components of a good company, is how their management is doing. Okay, look at Palantir. The CEO gets on CNBC and is basically saying, do not short my stock, right? Do not do this, do not do that. Cause sometimes you need that. Sometimes that could drive the stock even higher. But with Uber, the CEO looks promising, right? But I always say, do not marry the CEO, okay? Look what the CEO is saying and look if he can deliver. And Uber CEO can deliver, right? And the way I look at this as a business, in 5 years, am I holding this for 5 years? No. This is not some of my long-term investments, because, even though I do not like Tesla, you guys need to know, the autonomous driving or the self-driving cars, whoever can conquer robo-taxi and explode with it, that company is going to get most of the market share. As of right now, we are still developing robo-taxi. So when I look at Uber and I look at their earnings and I see their earnings per share is up, gross bookings are up, okay? Why were they down? Okay, so Uber had a $479 million legal tax charge. So this reduced its net income. Now, this basically means their profit, okay? That is key now. I want y'all to know that all these numbers are good, but if you don't make no profit, I mean, people are gonna look at you and be like, "What the heck?" It's like I want you to look at this like this. If I'm on here and I get on here saying, "I like to trade, I like to invest, blah 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 blah." If I go in here and I show you my monthly, and you guys see that I've been losing thousands of dollars, you'll be like, "Dude, what are you talking about?" Right? You cannot try to act like you know what you're doing if you've been losing all this money. That's exactly how people looked at Uber, right? And which is okay. It doesn't mean that it's a bad company, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you get hit with the surprising fee. You get hit with a surprising charge. You get hit with some taxes that you got to pay. What does that remind you of? It reminds me of Meta. Meta had a $16 billion something charge as well, okay? And look what their stock did, okay? But their stock fell even harder just because Meta is also aggressively investing into AI. So there's two things with Meta. With Uber, is just it's one thing, and the other thing is autonomous driving, but it's not as bad, right? If it was that bad, we would have seen Uber down all the way to $88 right here, $83, and we would have still been tanking. So this goes to show me that the support level of 92 to 90 is a decent support level, right? So when I talk about buying the right way, when I talk about dollar cost averaging the right way, make sure you're buying at these moments. That is very, very important. Bring your average cost down. There's two things I'm going to do. At $105, I'm either going to sell all my shares of Uber. All my shares. I want to grow this to at least 20 to 25 shares. I want to sell all my shares of Uber, okay? Or I'm going to sell 10 shares at $105. 105 target. Remember this. This target can either come in 3 months or it can come in the end of next year. But till then, imagine you got 50 shares while you're trading options on the side. So I'm still going to make money because I trade options, you guys. Or I'm still going to make money because I like to swing trade a stock here and there. I like to swing trade, let's say, NVIDIA here and there. Like NVIDIA goes to 230, NVIDIA goes to 220. I'm going to sell and get out, right? So when I look at opportunities in the market, as of right now, Uber, it looks phenomenal at $92. Okay? Now, guys, am I going to buy all $3,000 worth of Uber? No. That's not what I'm doing, right? I'm going to buy strategically. So I want you to look at how low the stock went at market close, okay? We went to 92.75. So we can go down to 91.50 because the after hours show me that, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a limit order for tomorrow. Limit order for tomorrow. So that's just how you do it. Hit trade, you hit buy, okay? Then you hit the top right where it says dollars. I want you to click that and then click limit order, okay? Number of shares. I'm going to buy 1 share, okay? Do not chip everything in all at once. Be strategic. I'm going to buy 1 share at 92.00, okay? It's around that key support level, okay? My next buying zone is going to be under 91.50 if we go there. So 1 share right there, continue, and I'm going to do time and force. Let's just do 4 p.m. till tomorrow, okay? Which this can hit tomorrow, right? And if it doesn't hit, cool. I'll just come back tomorrow and I'm going to look at the support level again, try to hit a support level tomorrow, okay? Review, swipe, okay? What this does is it automatically is going to fill the order when the stock price goes there. And I want you to look at this in the after hours, right? This indicates that it can go there. So if we go to 92 tomorrow, I'm going to buy 1 share. If we dip lower, I don't need you to panic. Because remember, I'm not telling you guys, oh, this is going to go to $105 tomorrow. Go buy five $105 call options. This is not what I'm telling you. I'm showing you the numbers. I'm telling you the reason why this stock can go to 105. People can pump the stock up. Imagine next quarter they report good earnings, right? But they don't have a $479 million tax they got to pay. Imagine what the stock is going to do then. Obviously, the stock is going to fall back a little bit because they got some big expense that showed up, right? Everybody hates tax season. But guess what? Uncle Sam needs his money too, right? So you got to take some of these things with, a grain of salt. And then Option trading, right? Always scaling up. I'm always scaling up. Okay, so regardless of what the market does, I'm gonna look for opportunity month to month, week to week, and I'm gonna look for a way to make money. Okay, so as y'all can see, man, Walmart is something I was trading as well, but Walmart is another buy. So if we talk about another buying opportunity, I mean, Walmart under $101, that is something I like to buy, or something like a Meta, right? Meta under 640. I mean, I love this under 640, right? I do not own none of Meta on here, but I own some of it on my Webull account. I want y'all to know, stay patient. This game is going to create you lifelong wealth. Lifelong wealth. So a lot of times we talk about some of these stocks dropping, some of the cryptos dropping. That is where you buy. I don't dabble too much into crypto, right? I do not dabble too much into crypto, but I want you to look at my average cost of 226. So when the market is up, right, and everybody is like, oh my God, we're back up at $2.8. Let me buy right here, take it to 3. I don't like to play those levels. I like to enter when there's fear in the market. And with crypto, I only do price action trading. So I'm going to take this back up to like 2.50, sell everything there, right? But even if it doesn't come, if you're buying and holding shares of something, guys, you should never be panicking, right? You should never be to the point where you feel like, oh, I feel like I made a bad decision. Because if you feel like that, that means you didn't do your analysis. SoFi is another one of those stocks, and I got my limit order in ready to go at 28.80, and this is gonna hit sometime, right? I want y'all to know, Uber, SoFi, something like an SCHD, you cannot go wrong. I'm not just gambling, okay? Keep that in mind. Thank you guys for watching. Yes, Uber is a buy. Yes, it's gonna go to 105. When it's gonna go, time will tell, right? I can never put a time on the stock market. If you go back in April, I would have told you we probably would have been going lower, right? Because it looks scary, right? We never know what Trump is going to do. So if you want to be strategic, buy at the right time, man, and always buy something like this. Always buy SCHD. I'm going to create wealth with SCHD. I'm going to grow this to 100 shares. But before that, I told you I'm going to get to 30, then I'm going to get to 50, then I'm going to get to 100, then we're going to get to 1,000 shares in SCHD. Look at how many shares I have right now. 30 shares. 50 shares is next. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe.